Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. There are moments in life when you look at the challenges ahead and think, this can't be done. I know how that feels. I've been there. But it is precisely in these moments that you have to ask yourself, what if I try? When everything seems to be falling apart, when circumstances push you to the ground, you have two choices: accept and give up, or stand up and move forward. And believe me, no one has ever achieved success by choosing the first option. The journey will not be easy. It never is. But the way you face these difficulties will define who you really are. Every great achievement starts with a first step, and that step can be taken right now. What holds us back most of the time is not a lack of opportunities, but a lack of belief in ourselves. How many times have you told yourself that you weren't capable? How many times have you let your own thoughts convince you that failure was inevitable? If you program your mind to think small, your life will be small. But if you decide to change that mindset, if you refuse to accept defeat as your destiny, everything transforms. Success does not start with money. It does not start with connections. It starts in your mind. You must tell yourself, this will work for me. And here's the truth that no one tells you. Everything worth achieving is difficult. People want quick results, shortcuts, easy solutions, but nothing that truly matters will come without effort. If it were easy, everyone would do it. I see many people giving up halfway because they feel they were not born for this, that they are not lucky or talented enough. But talent is not the most important factor. The ability to keep going, to persist when everyone around you tells you to stop, that is what separates those who win from those who give up. But what if you try with everything you have and still fail? What if you give your best and still don't achieve what you wanted? This is one of the greatest pains a person can feel. But do you know what I have learned? Failure is not the end. It is just a teacher, showing you what didn't work so you can adjust your path. The biggest mistake you can make is to give up too soon. You can always improve, always surpass your own limits. But for that, you must be willing to fail, to learn, and to start over as many times as necessary. Life owes you nothing. If you want something, go get it. Many people wait for circumstances to change, for opportunities to magically appear. But the reality is that opportunities appear for those who are prepared for them. So if life has knocked you down, if someone has told you that you are not capable, ask yourself, what can I do right now to change this reality? You may not control everything that happens, but you can control your response. You can choose to rise, to learn, to grow. That is power. That is freedom. There is nothing wrong with dreaming big. The world belongs to those who dare to dream. Many will laugh at you, say it's impossible, that you should be more realistic. But do you know what being realistic means? It means accepting a life that does not fulfill you. So if someone says you dream too much, smile and keep going. Those who have achieved the most in history were those who refused to accept limits. Believe me, your journey does not end here. Your best is yet to come. And when everything seems too hard, when the road ahead looks impossible, remember, your track record of overcoming obstacles is 100%. You have survived all your worst days so far. And if you have come this far, it is because there is more strength inside you than you realize. The secret is not to always win, it is to keep fighting. Because as long as you keep going, the possibility of victory still exists. So stand up, move forward, and never, ever stop dreaming. When I was young, no one believed in me. I failed exams, got rejected from dozens of jobs, and heard countless times that my ideas were absurd. But do you know the truth? The world doesn't belong to the smartest or the most talented. The world belongs to those who believe and work relentlessly to turn their dreams into reality. If you think success is a matter of luck, you are mistaken. Luck appears for those who refuse to give up. Most people give up before they even start. They look at those who have succeeded and think, they had something I don't have. But I say, if not now, when? If not me, who? I was not the smartest student in my class. I was just an English teacher who believed the internet could change the world. And that's exactly what we did with Alibaba. If I had waited to be ready, I would have never started. If you have a dream, protect it. The world will try to bring you down. People will laugh and say it's impossible. But the only thing that's truly impossible is winning without trying. When I started, China barely had the internet. People doubted that small businesses could sell globally. But I'd already seen that future in my mind. Dream big, but work even harder. Dreams without action are just fantasies. I learned that the secret is not just to believe, but to act. Every day, take one small step in the right direction. If you want to build something great, you don't need money or powerful connections. You need a vision and the discipline to pursue it. Believing in your dream is only the first step. What truly makes the difference is what you are willing to do for it. So I ask you, do you truly believe in your dream, or are you waiting for someone else to believe for you? You can spend your whole life watching others win, or you can start building your own story. Time will pass anyway. The only question that matters is, where do you want to be 5 years from now? If you have never failed, you have never truly tried. Most people see failure as the end, but I see it as the beginning. Before Alibaba, I was rejected from over 30 jobs, including KFC. 24 people applied, 23 were hired. I was the only one rejected. At that moment, I could have believed I wasn't good enough, but failure was never my enemy. It was my teacher. Every rejection sharpened my resilience and pushed me to improve. The biggest mistake you can make is to quit after the first setback. Life will test you. It will push you to the ground and see if you have the strength to get up. Many people think success is about avoiding failure, but the truth is, success is built on failure. Every time I was rejected, I asked myself, what can I learn from this? I failed my university entrance exams not once, but twice. Did that mean I was not meant to succeed? No. It meant I had to find another way. I tell young people all the time, if you're afraid to fail, you're afraid to grow. Look at any successful entrepreneur. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey. They all faced rejection, bankruptcy, public criticism. What made them different? They refused to let failure define them. They used it as fuel to go further, to become stronger, to learn faster. Success is not about never falling. It's about rising every single time you do. One of the most important lessons I learned is that rejection is not personal. It's not a sign that you are not good enough. It's a sign that you need to keep going. Many investors rejected my idea for Alibaba. They told me it was crazy, impossible. If I had believed them, I would have never built a company that now empowers millions of small businesses worldwide. Failure is painful, but it is never final. It teaches, it shapes, and it prepares you for what's ahead. Those who embrace failure as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock are the ones who truly succeed. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to pay the price. The truth is, success is not about intelligence, talent, or luck. It's about resilience. I've seen brilliant people fail because they gave up too soon. I've seen ordinary people win simply because they refused to stop. Life will knock you down, but the question is, will you get up one more time? I remember when Alibaba almost collapsed several times. We had no money, no business model, no support. People told me to quit, that it was impossible to compete with global giants. But I believed that if we kept moving forward, even inch by inch, we would eventually find a way. If you want to succeed, learn to endure. Winners don't quit when things get hard. They push through. Resilience is a mindset. If you expect the road to be smooth, you will be disappointed. But if you expect obstacles, if you train yourself to embrace difficulty, you will become unstoppable. This is why I always say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit. Change yourself. Challenges don't disappear. You get stronger. Many people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack patience. They want results overnight. But success is not a sprint. It's a marathon. The difference between winners and losers is simple. Winners stay in the game long enough to see their efforts pay off. Most people quit just before the breakthrough. When times get tough, remember why you started. The path will be difficult, the competition will be fierce, and the challenges will seem endless. But those who can endure the storm will always be the ones standing when the sky's clear. No one starts at the top. Every great success story begins with nothing. I was just a teacher with a small salary before Alibaba. Steve Jobs started in a garage. Oprah Winfrey was born into poverty. Too many people think they need the perfect conditions to succeed, but the truth is, success is built from the ground up. When I started Alibaba, I had no money, no technology, and no connections. What I had was a vision and the determination to make it real. The world doesn't reward those who wait for opportunities. It rewards those who create them. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. Some people use their starting point as an excuse. They say, I don't have resources, or I wasn't born into privilege. But history proves that those who have the least often achieve the most, because they have no choice but to fight for it. When you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. A dream is more powerful than money. I tell young entrepreneurs all the time, don't be discouraged by where you start. The biggest advantage you have is hunger. The hunger to learn, to grow, to succeed against the odds. This hunger is what separates those who create their own future from those who wait for things to change. Where you begin does not determine where you will end up. Your future is shaped by your vision, your persistence, and your ability to see beyond your current circumstances. The greatest winners started from zero, but they never stayed there. Before Alibaba became a reality, it was just an idea in my mind. I imagined a world where small businesses in China could sell to anyone, anywhere. Back then, people laughed at me. They said it was impossible. But I already saw it happening in my mind. If you cannot visualize success, you will never be able to build it. Everything you see today, businesses, inventions, technology, was once just a thought in someone's head. The greatest leaders and innovators did not wait for reality to change. They imagined a different reality and then made it happen. If you only focus on what exists today, you will always be behind. The future belongs to those who dare to imagine it first. Most people let their circumstances limit their thinking. They say, it's not possible, because they can't see how it would work. But that is the difference between dreamers and doers. Dreamers create possibilities in their minds first. They believe before they see. This is why the ability to visualize success is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. I always tell my team, don't focus on what we lack. Focus on what we can create. The human mind is capable of incredible things, but only if you allow yourself to dream beyond your current reality. If you can picture a better future, you are already halfway there. The biggest limitation you will ever face is the one you place on your own mind. If you want to build something great, start by seeing it in your imagination. The rest is just execution. Waiting for the perfect moment is a mistake. If I had waited until I had money, experience, or the right connections, Alibaba would have never existed. The truth is, there is no such thing as the right time. The only time that matters is now. Most people spend their lives preparing, planning, waiting. They tell themselves, I'll start when I have more knowledge, more confidence, more resources. But the moment you feel ready, it's already too late. Those who succeed are not the ones who wait. They are the ones who take action, even when they feel unprepared. When I launched Alibaba, I knew nothing about technology or business. I was just an English teacher, but I started anyway. I learned as I went. The key is to trust yourself enough to begin, even if you don't have all the answers. You will figure things out along the way. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for certainty, but life does not offer certainty. It offers opportunities. And opportunities are only useful if you have the courage to seize them. If you wait too long, someone else will take the chance you hesitated on. Success does not come to those who are perfectly prepared. It comes to those who dare to take the first step. The sooner you start, the sooner you will learn, grow, and improve. There is no better time than now. Most people quit at the first sign of difficulty. They hit an obstacle, face rejection, or encounter doubt, and they give up. But the truth is, success is not about how fast you start. It's about how long you can endure. The world is full of talented people who never made it simply because they lacked persistence. Alibaba almost failed many times. We had no money, no resources, and no support. There were nights when I thought, maybe this is impossible. But every time I wanted to give up, I reminded myself why we started. The market does not reward those who quit. It rewards those who find a way to keep going. Life will test you. It will ask, how much do you really want this? And most people will walk away. But if you can resist the urge to give up, if you can push through the doubt, the criticism, the failures, you will find that success is waiting on the other side. I tell entrepreneurs all the time, don't focus on how hard it is. Focus on how strong you can become. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not intelligence or luck. It's resilience. Those who win are the ones who refuse to stop. The road to success is not smooth, and it's not easy. But those who keep moving forward, no matter how slow, are the ones who eventually get there. The greater the challenge, the stronger you become. Most people see difficulties as obstacles, but I see them as opportunities. Every major success in life comes from solving a big problem. If you want to grow, if you want to succeed, you must learn to embrace difficulties, not avoid them. When we built Alibaba, nothing was easy. We had to create everything from scratch. Our business model, our technology, our team. Every day, we faced problems no one had ever solved before. But that's where the greatest opportunities are, where things are difficult. If something is hard, it means few people are willing to do it. That's where you have an advantage. People often complain about their struggles, but struggles are what make you better. If you never face challenges, you will never grow. Success does not come from comfort. It comes from overcoming difficulties. The bigger the problem, the bigger the reward for those who solve it. I always remind my team, don't run away from problems, run toward them. When you see a challenge, see it as a chance to become stronger, smarter, and better. The world does not need people who avoid problems. It needs people who solve them. The best opportunities in life are hidden inside the hardest challenges. If you train yourself to love challenges, you will never be afraid of success. No one will pay you for what you want to do. The market does not care about your dreams, your struggles, or your emotions. The only thing that matters is the value you create. If you want success, don't ask what the world can do for you. Ask what you can do for the world. When I started Alibaba, I wasn't thinking about how to make money for myself. I was thinking, how can I help small businesses succeed? If you focus on solving real problems, money will follow. But if you only chase money without creating value, you will always struggle. Many people expect rewards without contribution. They think, I work hard, I deserve success. But the truth is, working hard is not enough. You must work smart. You must understand what people need and provide it better than anyone else. I tell entrepreneurs, don't focus on yourself, focus on your customers. Understand their pain points, solve their problems, and give them what they truly need. The bigger the problem you solve, the more valuable you become. The world does not reward effort alone. It rewards results. If you want to be successful, forget about what you think you deserve and start focusing on the value you create. A lion does not wait for food to fall into its mouth. It hunts. In life, if you want something, you must go after it. Waiting for opportunities, hoping for luck, expecting someone to notice you, this is how you lose. The winners in life are those who chase what they want with everything they have. Many people tell themselves, "I'll wait for the right moment," or "I hope someone gives me a chance." But opportunities do not come to those who wait. They come to those who create them. If you want success, you must develop the hunter mentality. You must go after your goals with energy, urgency, and persistence. I have met thousands of young entrepreneurs who have great ideas, but never act on them. They wait. They hesitate. They fear failure. And while they wait, someone else takes the opportunity they could have had. The difference between winners and losers is simple. Winners take action. In business and in life, nothing is given to you. You must earn it. You must fight for it. And you must be willing to keep chasing, even when the journey is long and difficult. No one succeeds by accident. If you want something, stop waiting. Start hunting. Motivation is a spark. It gets you excited. It makes you feel unstoppable, but it never lasts. Discipline, on the other hand, is what keeps you going long after the excitement fades. If you only act when you feel motivated, you will never achieve anything great. The real winners are those who do what needs to be done, even when they don't feel like it. I've met many people with big dreams, full of passion, eager to change the world. But after a few failures, after a few hard days, they lose momentum. They say, "I'm not feeling motivated anymore." But success doesn't care about your feelings. It rewards those who show up, put in the effort, and stay consistent, even when it's boring, even when it's hard. When I was building Alibaba, there were countless days when I felt exhausted, frustrated, and uncertain. But quitting was never an option. I knew that if I wanted to succeed, I had to push forward, no matter how I felt. This is why discipline is more valuable than motivation. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Developing discipline is like training a muscle. At first, it's difficult. Waking up early, staying focused, doing the work when you don't feel like it. It's uncomfortable. But over time, it becomes who you are. The most successful people in the world don't rely on inspiration. They rely on habits, routines, and discipline. If you want to win, stop chasing motivation and start building discipline. Learn to do what's necessary, even on the days you don't feel like it. Because in the end, those who keep moving forward, regardless of how they feel, are the ones who reach the finish line. Most people fail because they give up too soon. They expect instant results, quick rewards, and overnight success. But real success doesn't happen in days or weeks. It takes years. It took Alibaba almost 2 decades to become a global company. If we had given up early, we would have never made it. Many people ask me, "Jack, what's the secret to success?" And I always tell them, consistency. Small, daily improvements are what create extraordinary results over time. It's not about making one big move. It's about making small, smart moves every day. If you want to achieve anything significant, you must commit to the long game. The problem is, most people get frustrated when they don't see progress immediately. They try something for a few months, don't see results, and quit. But success is like planting a tree. You don't see growth overnight, but if you water it every day, give it sunlight, and take care of it, one day it will grow strong and unshakable. I remember the early days of Alibaba when we had no profits, no recognition, and no certainty of survival. Many businesses would have shut down, but we stayed patient, kept learning, and kept working. Eventually, we broke through. That's the power of patience and consistency. If you keep going, you will outlast everyone who quit. Most people underestimate what they can achieve in 5 or 10 years. If you stay committed to your vision, if you keep putting in the effort every single day, success is inevitable. The question is, will you have the patience to see it through? The world is full of talented people who never succeed because they wait. They wait for the perfect time, for the right people, for some magical moment when everything will fall into place. But success does not work like that. Those who win are the ones who take action, even when they are not ready. Hard work, persistence, and self-reliance are the keys to success. If you want to succeed, take responsibility for your own growth. Learn new skills, make connections, and take risks. Stop waiting for someone to open a door for you. Build your own door. Life rewards those who take initiative. No one will hand you success. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start building the life you want. Your daily habits shape your future. Success is not built in one big moment. It is the result of small, consistent actions over time. What you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. If you want to change your life, start by changing your habits. People think success comes from one great idea or one lucky break. But the reality is, success comes from discipline. Reading every day, learning new things, staying consistent with your work. These small actions compound into greatness over time. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is found in their daily routines. I have met thousands of young people who want to be successful, but their habits do not match their ambitions. They want wealth, but don't manage their time well. They want opportunities, but don't invest in learning. If you want a different result, you must change what you do every day. The world's top performers, athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, all have one thing in common. They have mastered their habits. They wake up early, they focus on self-improvement, they stay disciplined even when no one is watching. Your habits determine your success more than talent or luck ever will. Big success is just the result of small, smart choices repeated over time. If you control your habits, you control your future. If no one is criticizing you, you are probably not doing anything important. The moment you start building something valuable, people will have opinions. They will doubt you, question you, and even try to stop you. But if you let criticism break you, you will never reach your full potential. When I started Alibaba, many people laughed at me. They said, "An English teacher running an internet business? Impossible." They said e-commerce would never work in China. If I had listened to them, Alibaba would not exist today. Criticism does not mean you are wrong. It means you are challenging the status quo. Most people avoid criticism because they fear rejection. But if you want to grow, you must be willing to face it. Take feedback, learn from it, and improve. But never let negative voices stop you from moving forward. If people are talking about you, it means you are doing something that matters. Some of the greatest ideas in history were rejected at first. The world is slow to accept change. If you have a vision, if you are building something new, expect resistance. But remember, those who criticize are usually the ones who never dared to try. You can either be liked by everyone, or you can be successful. You rarely get both. Keep going, no matter what people say, because in the end, results speak louder than opinions. Your career will only grow as much as you do. Most people spend years working hard at their jobs, but they never invest in themselves. They expect their company, their boss, or the economy to give them opportunities. But real opportunities come to those who develop themselves. I started as a simple English teacher. I had no business background, no technical skills, but I never stopped learning. I studied, I read, I listened to people who knew more than me. That is how I built Alibaba. If I had waited for someone to teach me, I would still be waiting. The most valuable investment you can make is in yourself. Some people say they don't have time to learn. They are too busy working, but that is a mistake. If you only work on your job, you will always be limited. If you work on yourself, your skills, your mindset, your leadership, you will create opportunities that others don't see. The world is changing fast. The skills that made you successful yesterday will not be enough tomorrow. If you want to stay ahead, you must continuously grow. Read books, take courses, Meet new people. Challenge yourself. The more you grow, the more valuable you become. Your job can be taken away from you. Your skills cannot. If you focus on becoming a better version of yourself every day, you will always have opportunities, no matter what happens in the world. You can be the most talented person in the world, but if no one knows it, it won't matter. Many people think that being good at something is enough. It's not. You must also know how to communicate your value, how to sell yourself, and how to make people believe in you. When I started Alibaba, I had no money and no resources. The only thing I had was my ability to inspire people. I convinced my team to believe in our vision. I convinced small businesses to trust us. I convinced investors to take a chance on us. Without that skill, Alibaba would have never grown. Selling is not just about products. It's about ideas, leadership, and influence. Whether you are an entrepreneur, an employee, or a student, you must know how to present yourself with confidence. You must learn to speak, to persuade, to connect with people. I have seen people with incredible talent go unnoticed because they never learned to sell themselves. And I have seen people with average talent succeed because they knew how to communicate their value. The difference is not in skills, it's in visibility. If you want to succeed, don't just be good. Make sure people know you are good. Learn to tell your story, to showcase your strengths, and to make others believe in you. That is the real secret to standing out. Thinking too much leads to inaction. I have seen so many people with brilliant ideas, big dreams, and incredible potential, but they spend all their time planning, hesitating, overanalyzing, and while they wait, someone else goes out and does it. When we started Alibaba, we had no guarantees. We had no proof that our idea would work, but we took action. We learned by doing. We failed, we adjusted, and we kept moving. Many people fail not because they lack knowledge, but because they never start. Some people are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions. But let me tell you, perfection does not exist. If you wait too long, someone else will take the opportunity you hesitated on. The only way to learn, to improve, and to win is by taking action. I tell entrepreneurs all the time, if you have an idea, test it. If you want to start a business, start small. If you want to develop a skill, practice every day. Stop waiting. The best way to learn is by doing. Success belongs to those who take the first step, even when they don't have all the answers. If you move forward, you will figure things out along the way. But if you do nothing, nothing will ever change. The greatest businesses in the world were not created from comfort. They were created from solving problems. If you want to succeed, don't look for an easy path. Look for problems that need solutions. The bigger the problem you solve, the greater your success will be. When I started Alibaba, I wasn't trying to create just another company. I was solving a real issue. Small businesses in China had no way to sell their products globally. No one believed in my vision at the time. They thought it was impossible. But I knew that where there is a big problem, there is a big opportunity. Most people complain about problems. They say, "This is too difficult," or "Why doesn't someone fix this?" But winners don't complain. They act. They see gaps in the market, pain points that others ignore, and they turn those problems into opportunities. The bigger the challenge, the fewer competitors you have. History proves this. Airplanes were built because people needed to travel faster. Online payments were created because traditional banking was slow. E-commerce grew because people wanted convenience. Every major innovation started with a problem. If you train yourself to see problems as opportunities, you will always find ways to grow. Don't avoid problems, run toward them. If you solve a real issue for people, they will pay you for it. Your future success is hidden inside the biggest problems of today. People follow leaders who are real, not perfect. Many believe that to be successful, they must act like someone they are not. more serious, more polished, more like what they think a leader should be. But the truth is, the most powerful thing you can be is yourself. When I built Alibaba, I never tried to be like Western CEOs in suits with perfect speeches. I was an English teacher, and I remained true to who I was. I made jokes, I shared my failures, and I spoke from the heart. That's why people trusted me, because I was real. Authenticity is rare. In a world full of people trying to impress, those who are genuine stand out. You don't need to be perfect to be inspiring. You just need to be honest, passionate, and committed to what you believe in. People can sense when someone is pretending, and they can sense when someone is real. Many entrepreneurs and professionals try to copy others, thinking that's the way to succeed. But people don't want another copy, they want originality. If you are true to yourself, you will attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right success. The world respects those who have the courage to be themselves. Don't waste time trying to fit in. Be authentic, be bold, and success will follow. If you are too comfortable, you are not growing. Many people settle for a good enough life. They stop challenging themselves, stop learning, and stop pushing forward. But success does not come from comfort. It comes from discomfort. Every time I faced a challenge, I grew. Every time I stepped into something unfamiliar, I learned. Alibaba would never have existed if I had stayed comfortable as an English teacher. I had to take risks, step into the unknown, and keep moving forward, even when I was afraid. Most people fear change because it is uncomfortable. They stay in jobs they don't like, in situations that don't inspire them because it feels safe. But what they don't realize is that staying in one place for too long is the real risk. The world is changing fast, and if you don't grow with it, you will be left behind. The greatest breakthroughs happen outside the comfort zone. Athletes push their bodies to the limit. Entrepreneurs take risks that others avoid. Innovators challenge the status quo. If you want success, you must be willing to get uncomfortable. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it kills growth. If you want a different future, you must challenge yourself every day. Keep learning, keep taking risks, and never settle. A great leader does not command, they inspire. Too many people think leadership is about being the boss, giving orders and having control. But true leadership is about serving others, empowering people, and helping them succeed. At Alibaba, I always told my team, customers first, employees second, shareholders third. Many investors did not like this. They wanted profit first. But I knew that if we focused on taking care of our customers and employees, success would follow. And it did. The best leaders are not the ones who demand respect, but the ones who earn it. They lead by example, they listen, and they support their people. When your team knows you care about them, they will go further than you ever imagined. Leadership is not about titles. You don't need to be a CEO to be a leader. You can be a leader in your family, in your community, in your daily actions. True leadership is about taking responsibility, solving problems, and helping others grow. If you want to lead, don't focus on power. Focus on impact. The greatest leaders in history were not the ones who controlled people, but the ones who inspired them to do great things. The only real failure is quitting. Most people think losing means failing an exam, losing money, or making a bad decision. But these are just temporary setbacks. The only way to truly lose is to stop trying. Alibaba faced so many failures. We lost deals. We struggled with competition. We had moments where the future was uncertain, but we never stopped. I have seen companies with more money, more talent, and more resources fail, simply because they gave up too soon. The path to success is not straight. It's full of ups and downs, mistakes and lessons. The difference between winners and losers is that winners keep going no matter what. They adapt, they learn, and they keep pushing forward. Many people quit when they are just one step away from success. They let frustration, fear, or exhaustion stop them. But what if they had continued for just a little longer? What if the breakthrough was right around the corner? If you believe in something, fight for it. If you fall, get up. If you fail, try again. The only way to guarantee failure is to stop moving. Keep going, and eventually, success will come. Success starts with a dream, but it only becomes reality with action. I have met many people with great dreams, but very few who take action. Dreaming is easy, doing the work is hard, but only those who take action will see their dreams come true. When I started Alibaba, I had a dream of helping small businesses, but I knew that dreaming alone was not enough. We worked every day, even when it seemed impossible. We did not wait for opportunities. We created them. The biggest mistake people make is thinking too much and doing too little. They say, "I will start next year," or "I need more preparation." But time will pass, and they will still be in the same place. The only way to achieve something is to take the first step, no matter how small. Some people give up on their dreams because others don't believe in them. But the only belief that matters is your own. If you stay consistent, if you keep pushing forward, eventually the world will catch up with your vision. Never stop dreaming, never stop acting. The future belongs to those who never give up.
Jack Ma's words have inspired millions, but what truly makes him different? He wasn't born into wealth, he didn't have connections, and he certainly wasn't the most talented person in the room. Yet he built one of the biggest companies in the world, Alibaba. How? Through resilience, vision, and an unshakable belief in taking action. The lessons he shared are not just for entrepreneurs. They're for anyone who wants to transform their life. Success is not about luck. It's about discipline, consistency, and the ability to rise after every failure. If you've ever felt lost, unmotivated, or stuck in life, this message is for you. Jack Ma's insights go beyond business. They touch on personal growth, mental resilience, and the habits that separate winners from those who give up too soon. In this powerful talk, Jack Ma reveals why dreams are only for those who truly believe and take action. He explains why failure is not the enemy, but the greatest teacher you will ever have. And most importantly, he shows why success is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about starting before you feel ready. Have you ever felt like you were working hard but getting nowhere? That's because success is not just about effort. It's about strategy. Jack Ma shares why discipline is more valuable than motivation and why small, daily habits shape your future more than talent ever will. If you've been waiting for an opportunity, stop. The world rewards those who create their own chances. Jack Ma doesn't sugarcoat reality. He reminds us that the market doesn't care about our feelings. It only values those who solve real problems. He teaches that if you want to stand out, you must learn to sell yourself and communicate your value. And if you think success is reserved for those with money or resources, think again. The greatest winners in history started with nothing. What they had was a relentless mindset. But this is not just about success in business. It's about success in life. The comfort zone is the greatest enemy of growth. If you are too comfortable, you are not improving. Jack Ma challenges you to embrace discomfort, seek out challenges, and see every problem as an opportunity. This is the mindset of true leaders and innovators. By the end of this video, you will understand why the only real failure is quitting. You will see why the most successful people in the world are not the smartest. They're the ones who never stop learning, never stop adapting, and never stop moving forward. So, are you ready to change the way you think? Are you ready to stop waiting and start acting? Because once you shift your perspective, nothing can stop you. The only thing standing between you and success is action. You just heard the lessons from Jack Ma. Lessons built on resilience, discipline, and the ability to turn obstacles into opportunities. But here's the real question. What are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you let it inspire you for a moment, only to go back to old habits? Or will you take the first step toward real transformation? Dreams without action are just wishes. The world does not reward those who wait. It rewards those who take risks, those who step outside their comfort zone, and those who refuse to quit. Every great success story started with a decision to move forward, despite fear, despite uncertainty. If you don't take control of your future, someone else will. So what was the most powerful insight for you today? What idea made you stop and think? This is what I needed to hear. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Sometimes, putting your goals into words is the first step to making them real. And if you ever need motivation, come back to this video. Let it be a reminder that success is possible for those who keep pushing forward. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you don't, chances are you'll never find this video again, and you'll miss out on more content that could change your life. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new lesson on success, leadership, and personal growth. And if you're serious about mastering your mindset and reaching your full potential, watch the next video. It will take you even further on this journey. See you there.